Here's a story that occurred to me. This is about 10 years ago, 11 years ago. I went to the Lubavitcher Rebbe on Sukkot, and on Sukkot I take a lulav and etrog, and I wanted to go with somebody else, but I couldn't find anyone else to go with. And so I got on the subway, and I just got out on any arbitrary place with a lulav and etrog and stood on the corner and asked people if they're Jewish. A lot of people came over and asked me, what is that? Well, I had a lot of very friendly conversations with a lot of people. I don't know how it would be now, but for whatever reason, this year and last year, I wasn't able to go. But God willing, next year the Rebbe will be here. And meanwhile, here's the story that happened 11 years ago. So I stood on this corner, and I'm standing on the corner and asking people, anybody that vaguely could be Jewish, I ask them if they're Jewish. And some people said yes, some people said no. Some people, some people asked me why, and I said because it's a Jewish holiday today, and we do this commandment of lulav and etrog. Take the lulav and etrog and you shake it. Did I show you the picture? I think I show a picture. Anyway, you know what it is, huh? I think you know. Let's see, maybe we got a picture over here. Lulav and etrog. I have a picture proves of shaking a lulav and etrog. Here you have a picture. See, holding the lulav and etrog, shaking it. Anyway, you hold on to it. Then I can't find a good picture of it over here. Anyway. Okay. So taking a lulav and etrog and shaking the lulav and etrog. Good. So, let's see, we'll go back here. Here we go. Stop shit. Okay, so I stood on the corner, and then I'm standing on the corner, and I ask people, are you Jewish? And some people take something. There comes along a fellow, and he didn't look Negro, he didn't look Asian, he didn't look, I figured man, it could be a Jew. So I asked him, excuse me, sir, are you Jewish? So the person didn't answer. I said, are you Jewish, sir? So he didn't answer. I figured, he came from. In the background, I hear this lady laughing. He turns around to this lady and he asks her, Ma'u Marley. He says in Hebrew. What did he say? So she said, I said, oh, you're Hebrew, you're Israeli. I said to him in Hebrew, today is a holiday. Today is a holiday. He said, what holiday is it? The lady in the background is laughing. I said, it's the holiday of Sukkot. You're an Israeli. Are you Jewish? I said, are you Jewish? Maybe there's an Israeli Arab. There's like 2 million Arabs living in Israel. Are you Jewish? Yeah, I'm Jewish. I said, well, it's a commandment. Here's a commandment, lulav and etrog. Do the commandment. In the background, So he said, what do I have to do? I said, listen, it takes 2 minutes, no more. Here we go. I put the kippah on his head, and she starts laughing. She's like bursting out laughing. And I said, here, just take this lulav and etrog. So he says, I don't want to do this. I said, what do you got? You have nothing better to do. It takes 2 minutes. You don't have to pay any money. Take a lulav. I said, thousands of Jews are doing it in the world, maybe millions. Do it. They never did it before. Do it. It takes the lulav and etrog. I make him say a blessing. After every word, Baruch, she's laughing. He doesn't know what to say. It takes him about just 2 minutes to say the blessing. I should have said Shechianu with him, but I didn't want to take up the time. I didn't want him to throw the thing down any second. It looked like he was. And he said, okay, and he shook it. That's it. And she was laughing. And I gave him a little card, one of these Mashiach cards. What is it? Here, I gave him a Mashiach card. And I said, you should learn something about Judaism. There's Chabad Center near you. Learn about Judaism, something. You're here in America, you're an Israeli. Yeah, and she's laughing. And she also took the lulav and etrog. She did it, and then they left. And that's it. About 3 years later, I'm at a wedding in Kfar Chabad. Somebody's wedding. And I like to dance at weddings. I like to dance. The Chassidim, they dance on them. And so I'm in the wedding. Somebody comes up to me with a cellular phone. Comes over with a cellular phone. And he said, I look at the fellow. He's got a little beard, religious guy. He said, look at this. Look at this. So I said, no, I said, hello, how are you? I shook his hand. I said, I just came here to dance a little bit. Thanks very much. I'm really not interested. I'm going to go home. He says, no. Take a look. So I figured the guy wants to sell me something. I don't know why he picked me out. So I said, listen, I said, Tishma, I said, listen, I'm just here for a few minutes. I don't want to buy anything. I'm just wondering, I don't have any money. He says, no, have a look, take a look. So I realized I'm not going to get rid of this guy. So, okay, I'll look. So he shows me this. What do I see? This sort of a skinny guy, a religious guy with a beard. And he's standing on this corner somewhere with a lulav and an etrog. And this car is going by. And suddenly somebody comes up to him and I hear in the thing, so I look and I realize, hey, that's me. So I asked him, hey, where did you get this picture? Where did you get this video from? Where did you get this from? And he said, you see that guy that you gave the lulav and etrog to? So I said, yeah. I figured he'd say, that's my brother. It's my, So that's me. I said, it's you? He said, yeah. He said, listen, you gave me the lulav and etrog. And I realized I don't know anything. I didn't even know it was a holiday. And we got to talking, me and was his wife. He went traveling with his wife. They went around Israel. They went around America. They were traveling, I don't know. And he said, we realize we're Jews and we don't know anything about Judaism, nothing whatsoever. I didn't even know that there was a lulav and etrog, and it happens to be the nearby our house, there happens to be a Chabad house. And so we went there and we started asking questions. And we got really interested and we decided that we'll start doing commandments and keeping Shabbos. And that's it. We became religious. And that's us. So usually you do a command, you do a favor for somebody in Judaism, you do something, and you never see the results. Abraham, God promised Abraham the land of Israel. We still really haven't gotten it. I still don't even get it. His children are going to be like the stars of heaven. I don't see that happening. So it says, but it's going to happen. We have to have faith. But here, usually you pray to God for something and the results come. Who knows when, if they come. When they come. And here I did this favor for 3 years later, I saw the results. I saw the results of my actions. So it comes to show the same thing. Jewish people have been doing Torah and commandments and praying for Mashiach for thousands of years. I think the time has come now, this Sukkot, to see the fruits of our laborers. Have a good day with Mashiach now.